has a little bit of a crush on Hassan Piker, Gavin. I think he's trying to neg him. I think that deep down, we know Nick Fuentes. He's an insecure guy. He's 5'5". He's 140 pounds, and in his mind, he dreams of being Hassan Piker. That's honestly what I think has fueled much of his racial hatred, much of his deranged white nationalist fervor, because he looked at the body of a 6'4" Turkish beach god and he just spiraled out of control. He filled his body with hate, both with longing and frustration, that he would never bask in the glory of Hassan's hot bod, and he's lusting after it like you cannot believe. The repressed homoeroticism in this clip is just pouring over, but he's also going to pretend to nitpick the guy as niggers do.
Yeah, let's take a look, because I think he was just calling for Hassan to not only be censored from the internet, but literally arrested and deported. Yeah, I saw that, so yeah, let's take a look.
Is an interview in the New York Times between Hassan Piker and Ross Douthat, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's like a big Catholic. He's been around forever. And I watched this interview, Hassan and New York Times, and this guy is just an idiot, man. And here's the thing. I don't care if somebody is right or left. If they're intelligent, if they have an interesting perspective, I watch and I listen. Because I'm always looking to learn. And you know me, I'm not really a partisan. Of course, I have very strong views and I'm very far on the right wing. But I'm very, I think, open-minded. And I'm always open to hearing a new perspective or new information. And I read the right and the left. I watch the right and the left.
Do you watch us?
And almost all the time.
Oh, we're his favorite show, Gavin. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Hassan might have been the impetus for his hatred, but he does also want bodies like us. Trust me, Gavin.
I don't agree with the left, but I do listen. And I watched this interview today, and it was just brutal. They're asking Hassan. So one of the questions, they finally get into it, and the interviewer says, "So Hassan, what is your cause? What's your goal?" And he goes, he says, "I'm in favor of social democratic reforms." And the guy goes, "What does that mean?" And he says, "Well, I think that's far in the future, but we just need to make society more democratic and have people have more choice in the workplace and undo the systematic violence of capitalism." And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what does that actually even mean? When they start getting into this Marxist language, you just gotta say, time out, stop. What the fuck are you talking about?
This is when conservatives reveal that they have really small brains, right? This guy wants to come out here in front, like, oh, I went to Boston U, like, oh, I'm an intellectual, oh, I'm a real smart guy, and I can't follow what he's saying because he said the word dialectic. I don't know what the fuck that means. He said he wants to end the bloodshed. What does that even mean, man? How could you have a society without mass bloodshed? It really goes to reveal how the conservative mind is so unimaginative that they cannot possibly picture. They can't even imagine. They can't fucking fathom a world that is different from the one that they're experiencing right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not that hard to understand what Hassan is talking about in the interview that Nick references. And I guess the big difference between a progressive like Hassan and a Nazi like Nick Fuentes is that Hassan actually is willing to provide the solutions to a lot of the problems that we all talk about. We're constantly talking about, like, societal issues, income inequality, all this, stuff, right? Hassan actually at least has some ideas about what a solution would look like, whereas people like Nick Fuentes just want to constantly ad nauseum complain about how the Jews control the world and how there's immigrants in the streets and they're taking over the fucking country, but it's just like there's not actually really a solution. Like, what is Nick Fuentes' solution to the Jews controlling the world? Wow. Kill them all? Like, I mean, literally do another Holocaust? Like, I guess that's the implicit fucking suggestion. But again, if you watch his content, you're not gonna feel like there's anything that can be done. You're just, even if you actually believe that, what he's saying is the problem. he's not really offering a solution. It's not like, here's a way to get involved and fight back. It's just like, here, tune in to me bitch and moan about how everything is terrible because of the Jews and the blacks and the immigrants and the women, and it's just never ending. And even though he got Trump elected, now he hates Trump. So it's just nihilism and irony pilled, black pilled garbage. Whereas Hassan, again, is actually analyzing the issues with the world and talking about potential solutions, even if they seem far-fetched to someone who's lived in a hyper-capitalist society for their entire life. Yeah, it does sound a little bit far-fetched at first when you talk about like actually reeling back capitalism, because this world is so hyper-capitalist. The capitalists always get their way. It is hard to imagine seriously reining them in, but it needs to be done, and Hassan's willing to admit that.
Yep, and there's a reason that he doesn't read directly from the transcript. There's a reason he doesn't actually play the clip of Hassan articulating himself. But I tweeted a segment that he references in that portion of the clip a few days ago, so I'll just read it out here. And I captured it. I thought that Hassan was absolutely waxing. But Hassan says, so it's not just the transformation of America, it's the transformation of global politics in its entirety. I think that capitalism was an evolution away from feudalism and monarchies, and it was a fantastic evolution away from that structure. And liberal capitalist democracies, I think, for a very long time presented this wonderful new evolution. But I think it's time for an alternative vision to take place, considering that the tremendous amount of bloodshed that keeps propping up the system continues.
This actually makes no sense to me, Zach. Can you please explain it to me like I'm a fucking toddler? I don't understand what this means.
Right, it's crazy. It's like, Gavin, use your imagination, right? It's crazy. He says, I feel like we have an opportunity to move away from this, especially at a time when liberalism is demonstrably failing. Something that Nick Fuentes would also, I think, agree with, right? We are seeing, even as Constantine recognizes, illiberals that are taking advantage of this situation. Now, of course, he would probably consider me to be a little blah, blah. But what he's saying is everybody knows that the current system is no longer cutting the mustard. We are in a failing state, all right? Inflation is out of control. Cops are in the street everywhere. ICE is abducting people. Tariffs are out of control. The United States is losing its, role as the, dominant cultural force. We can't make anything. People are poorer. The top 70-80% own more than the bottom, or the top 1% owns 80%. All these kinds of fucking things, right? We're in a crumbling, dying empire. And Hassan's point is, we can either build something that is better for the future, or we can regress into a more fascist feudal system. Those are our two options, right? Nick wants everybody to be driven back into a fascist, feudal, Christian, monarchical system, right? He wants that old school religious totalitarianism to be imposed. Hassan is dreaming differently. He's saying, no, let's not go backwards. Let's go forward one more time and build a system that works for everyone and isn't predicated on mass suffering.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of the Hassan interview, I also wanted to share this hilarious analysis, apparently from some guy that works at the Atlantic. I saw this on Yahoo News. Atlantic contributor shreds the New York Times for interviewing Hassan Piker. And apparently this guy is Palestinian or something.
Oh, Destiny was tweeting about this guy.
Yeah, I was like, I've never heard of him, but I thought it was hilarious. He sounds like a Zionist almost, but Al-Habtid took issue with the Times editorial choice to sit down with Piker and wrote, Hassan Piker, a horrible pro-jihad, pro-Hamas, pro-Houthi, pro-resistance. What's wrong with that?
Right.
Pro-resistance
game away.
Yeah. Pro-resistance personality who literally incited violence against me and instigated death threats along with his sidekick, the Bad Empanada, that required FBI intervention. So it's hilarious for one. This guy clearly doesn't actually pay much attention to Hassan because the Bad Empanada has been relentlessly shitting all over Hassan. Like ever since Hassan did that one interview with him like 3 months ago, which was a short interview that he didn't even post to his channel, and now Bad Empanada fucking hates him. But I just thought this was so... I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Is this like... Did Destiny write this? Did Ethan Klein write this? A horrible pro-jihad, pro-Hamas, pro-Houthi, pro-resistance personality. I'm like, what? I've never even heard of this guy. I don't think it's true that Hassan incited violence against him. I don't remember that happening. What the fuck?
Yeah, this guy is like on the Atlantic Council. Okay, he's a fucking crazy person. And Destiny retweeted the screed that's cited. Yeah, and it goes on. It's a massive fucking thing. He adds that He's not only claiming he won't go to TwitchCon Streaming Fest due to safety concerns, but is getting platformed by the New York Times opinion page and editorial board. And then he just links to this article.
It's like, is that the whole point of an opinion page and an editorial board, is to like spotlight different, opinions and stuff? Like, theoretically, that it's not just to only have one opinion featured. You want to have like a broad spectrum of people. And Hassan is popular. Like, you can be pissed about it, but he is fucking popular. Like, unfortunately, we're gonna have to hear from him. It's kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
Number one Twitch streamer.
Yeah, literally. So again, for the New York Times to not platform that person and to just like, omit him from their readers' perspective would be dishonest at this point, given how influential he is.
Yup, 100%. So anyway, just a little quote from Nick Fuentes over there. Small brain, peanut brain, Nick Fuentes. So horny for Hassan, so horny for the left.
Yeah, that dude is definitely gay too.
100%, dude. 100%.
So, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's just funny to see him pretend to be so, like, such an alpha male. I fucking hate women and all this shit. It's like, bro, you're just literally a gay dude. Like, he was going on this like long 3-minute rant that I saw a clip of on Twitter that was like him just ranting about how much he loves the movie La La Land, which is fine. I also love that movie. But everyone in the comments was like, you're not beating the accusations, bro. You're not beating the allegations.
You know what's so funny? He genuinely is just a younger, anti-Semitic Ben Shapiro. He is loves the musical.
I think he's funnier than Ben Shapiro.
Fair enough, but gay guy, funny voice, racist as hell, makes conservative content, has since he was a little boy. Like, he's not beating the allegations that he's just junior Ben Shapiro. No. Aldi brand Ben.
No. But either way,